Hey guys, me and Matt are here to, well, I'll mainly review it here, talk a bit here and there if he wants to say something. But we're here to review part 2 of the Benoit nearly said podcast, then they weren't a podcast. It's a documentary. That was it. I nearly said the wrong word then. So yeah. Spoiler alert, we were just in a massive argument, so yeah, we're just trying to calm down, both of us. We don't want to end up falling out over something like that.
Something stupid.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'll talk about what happened, and I might as well mention what we disagree on. But so it continues from part 1, where the police are called because he's not turned up to the live event. And then what me and him disagree on is what's made me change my mind on everything. But so texts was sent to people's phones when he was dead, and to say that the dogs were outside, the gates were open or something like that. And then the police came. The police got the neighbour to get the dogs in the kennel. Then she went into the house, seen the kid and Nancy dead. And then she thought that Benoit might have been in the, kind of like the attic basement kind of thing. And she also, they called it basements, don't they, in America? Yeah. But over here in the UK, we call them attics.
No, it's not in the roof. It's down.
It's downwards, ain't it? Yeah, there. But here, it's the roof most of the time for houses. And then she goes in, and what? Here's one thing. I think you will agree with me on this. The police shouldn't have let her go in there on her own. Really, that's the police job to go in there. I think she should have just
Waited.
took the dogs in so they could go in and see what's happened. That she shouldn't have had to gone in there, but she went in there. I suppose the police didn't know if they was alive or not. So maybe they'd said, "All right, you check to see if everyone's all right." Then she went in there and she found them dead. And for some reason, she said there's also a voice calling a 999 call where she said like she found both of them dead, and she thinks Chris might be dead as well. So sounds like she already knew what happened. But yeah, we had a fucking massive argument about that, guys. But yeah, I think she knew before the police took her in, but that's just my opinion. And I'll get into that in a minute, in a bit. But and we both agree that we think someone else did send the texts. So we will agree on that. So yeah, and then it gets to the point where she didn't go down to the basement. She just had a bad feeling. I think it was one of them bad feelings in her stomach, it seemed. And she didn't go there. But apparently she was there for some time, looking around the house because it's a big house. And then it probably didn't smell too good either. Because dead bodies, after, say, a few days, it does stink the house, don't it? Yeah. Yeah, it would, yeah. And then the police checked, and because they seen someone's feet, the police who went in the house, they thought someone was, doing some gym work. That sounded like a bit of a gym room, what he had there, where he was found hanged. And then they put the gun and said, "Put your arms in the air." They didn't know he was dead. Then he was found hanged in the machine the weight machine, where he put the towel around him and put it on a certain bit and then pulled it down. That's what they say killed him. I think something else happened, but I'll get into that in a bit. Yeah, I think it's with this, right? I think one thing just made me think something else happened. I think that's what's happened, with my opinion on it. So then they tell WWE they've found them all dead. Then WWE do a tribute show to Benoit, because at the time when they planned to do the show, they didn't know what happened. All they knew is everyone died, and they don't know how. So it was all in the air at the time, whether it was intruders, whether it was him. So no one knew at the time. Everyone was speculating, and we both was. We didn't know what happened, at the time. So, and then I think Bruce Pritchard said on a podcast that it was half an hour before the end of the Benoit tribute show is when he found out what really happened, and probably others knew before, but that's when he found out. But yeah, and then since they've not mentioned him, they've not said anything about him. They just don't promote him, and yeah, they've definitely distanced themselves from him.
They should have.
So yeah, and then but mainly who was in this documentary was Jericho, Nancy's sister Sandra, Benoit's son David, Chavo as well. Yeah, Chavo.
I think Jim.
JR, and
And Stone.
Oh yeah, Storm. I forgot about him. So yeah, and then towards the end of the documentary, they were talking about him being in the Hall of Fame, and it won't happen because of what everyone said he's done. So it won't happen. But and the positive thing is the concussions. At least now people get tested for concussions, and they get cleared. They get cleared of they don't let people keep wrestling. At least now they have a proper test for concussions, and yeah, and it's a lot safer now. And another good thing is what came out of it. At least then Sandra, Nancy's sister, and David reconnected. Jericho helped them reconnect, so that was cool. Yeah, and yeah, at least they can rebuild their relationship, I suppose. I think it would be awkward for Sandra though, considering it's his son and he looks double of him. But yeah, they've reconnected, so good for them. And then it pretty much ended. But I will say for most of it, me and him was in a shouting match, wasn't we?
Not necessarily.
We was a bit though, weren't we? We were having a...
I love to get your opinion across, even when I'm trying to speak. You talk over me a lot.
You did as well with me. We both did. We both
got our opinion across, but
we both got our opinion across.
But we couldn't.
Yeah, we were shouting at each other. So what we mainly disagree on is the texts made me think that there's more to it, right? So this is how I see it. When someone kills someone, that they ain't, if they've done it, they're not gonna leave. They're not gonna leave the dogs out. They just leave them inside their property. They wouldn't leave them out. And with a gate open, just, I don't know. I just think then there's also a few other things, like the scuffle call, what Chavo heard, what he said he heard between Benoit and someone who he answered the door to. Then there's also just a few other circumstances. The texts, and he was allegedly dead between 7 and 11. This is what me and him were shouting about. Then the texts were sent at 4:30 in the morning. So if he died before 11 p.m, it's impossible he sent them texts. It's impossible. So the only way he would have is if someone got his hand and pressed the buttons and got him to send it with his hands. So we were mainly having a heated discussion about that. I was shouting at him, like saying, "You're trying to take the piss. Someone can't, if someone dies before a certain time, and then the message has been sent past that time, that's impossible. That can't happen." And then he was shouting at me, saying, "I don't care, he still did it." And then I was just shouting at him, saying, I think there's a third party. Well, no, you don't, but I do. I think there was. And I think the Texas sent them, it brought them to what they wanted to. And I think the neighbour knew beforehand. I think she knew what happened. And because she said on the call, and I've listened to it, he might be dead. So how would she think that? She's found them dead. How would she think he might be dead? I think she knew they were dead. She knew they were all dead, in my opinion. And I think whoever killed all three of them, they told her, because she had the key to the house, if you say anything, what happened to them is going to happen to you. And that's when the texts were sent. And then the police came, she helped them get the dogs in, and she stuck to the plan, to what they told her to do. And that's what I think happened. The texts really changed my mind on this. They really did change my mind to the point where I think there was intruders in the house, and I think they killed Nancy, they killed the kid, then they killed Benoit and put a towel around his throat and made it look like he committed suicide when he didn't. And because he was religious, I think they placed the Bibles near him. And I think they did the internet searches as well, to make it look like he was searching how to kill himself. So I actually have changed my mind on this situation. I actually agree with some others now. I think he's innocent. I don't think he did it.
He did.
I don't think he did. I think intruders went in there, killed them all, day by day. And then I think they made it look like suicide. They sent the texts when he was dead. The weird texts, very strange texts, which someone wouldn't if they knew the person already knew their address. And then I think, yeah, they made it look like a murder-suicide. And they put the blame on him. And then they took his phone, so they don't find evidence on his phone of their DNA sending that message, which led the police to the property. So I think that's what happened. He disagrees. And we're not going to talk about it because we had a massive argument about it. So yeah, that's what I think happened. Yeah, I think there was a third party in it, and I think he was taken out. All three of them were taken out, and then it made it look like he did it. That's my opinion. And I think if it weren't for the texts, when he was dead and the texts were sent, I'd still think the same, what I did. But the texts made me think that there's more to it. Or if it wasn't, the texts wouldn't have been sent, the dogs wouldn't have been outside, and they would have just been inside. Then they would have just found them all there, dead. Whereas, obviously, someone sent them texts when he was dead. And this is why we were shouting at each other. I said to him, how can a dead man send texts? Then he said, I don't care, he did it. And I said, how? If he did it, then why is someone sending texts to people saying to come to the house because the dogs are outside? So, yeah, they led him to the house. And they led him to the murder. They brought him to the house to all of them being slaughtered. So, that's what happened.
That's in your opinion?
Yeah, that's in my opinion.
Because at the end of the day, 2 people died, 1 person chose to do it.
In my opinion, 3 people died and people have still got away with it. And the people who sent the texts when he died is who did it. So yeah, and and I've said to him, that's mainly what's changed my mind on this, is the texts. I just think there was an outside party with that, who sent the texts, and I think there's proof Chris didn't send them. He was dead by the time they were sent. And yeah, it was the killers, and then they left. That's my opinion. But we're gonna agree to disagree on this
forever.
Yeah, so we're not gonna keep talking about which go around in circles. But yeah, that's my opinion. The text has changed my mind on the case. It just has. So we disagree on the outcome of what happened. But so I'll rate the documentary out of 10 then you, yeah?
I'll go rate.
You ain't got a rating, no? Alright, I'll just do it then. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It was interesting. It was interesting when they talked about the concussions and what led to it and stuff. Yeah, it's a sad documentary though, because at the end of the day, even though me and him disagree on who did it, 2 innocent people did die, a woman and a child. And, and then, in my opinion, someone got killed and made it look like he killed the other 2. And I think they slit his throat and they put then a towel round his neck to make it look like he killed himself when he didn't. So yeah, to me it's a triple murder. But we'll agree to disagree. We don't need to talk about that again. So yeah, but the next one will be New Jack. So that should be interesting. He's a very controversial character. But yeah, me and him won't discuss this again. It got really heated. Yeah, we were shouting at each other. But we just have 2 different opinions on this. Yeah, one thing has just changed my mind on it all, to be honest. I've just thought of from the start to the end because of that. Whereas, I know he thinks the neighbour sent the texts. I think it was the intruders. And then she got warned to keep her mouth shut. And if she didn't and said what happened, she's next.
Even the wrestlers know what happened.
They think they know what happened. No one knows but the Benoit family. Because it happened to them, didn't it? Whatever happened, they're all dead. You know what I mean? And they got found dead. Whether he did it or not, they all were found dead. That's the reality of it, isn't it? And then obviously, I do think that when they went there, the police, because they found him hanged and the other 2 dead, I do think they thought straight away murder-suicide without even investigating, without looking into everything, without doing DNA swabs, without seeing people's timelines, what they were doing at certain times, I think straight away they looked at it and thought, murder-suicide, we'll go with that. And that's what I think they did.
The list of the facts.
No, I think that's what they did. Because there's more to it, definitely. Because if there wasn't, then why did someone send texts when he's dead? That wouldn't have happened, would it? But we won't talk about it. Believe me, if I had that on record, everyone would have been laughing. We were really getting tense, really. But we're not going to discuss it. I've told you and him what's changed my mind on this situation. And he's made his thoughts clear, so I've made mine clear. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, the next few things we're going to review is the new Jack documentary. That'd be interesting. And then we're going to watch... what's it? Is it Wrestlers vs Zombies? That's it. Then he's going to go, and I might try and get some sleep, because I tried to get some sleep earlier and I fucking heard drilling. Kept me awake. That pissed me off. Anyway, thanks for watching. And yeah, we'll do more content. It took us some time to calm down because we pissed each other off. But anyway, thanks for watching anyway. I appreciate anyone who watches my videos. And we've got a few more decent videos for them to watch, haven't we? So, yeah. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. Bye for now.